infectious disease of human intestinal tract caused by a roundworm, Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoides is an endoparasitic roundworm or nematode. It means a causative organism for Ascariasis is Ascaris lumbricoides. You will have to remember the scientific name Ascaris lumbricoides. Let us study sign and symptoms. Gastrointestinal discomfort accompanied with vomiting and fever. Gastro means stomach and intestinal means intestine. Discomfort means it is not easy, accompanied with vomiting and fever. Presence of live worm in fecal matter. It is the characteristic symptom of Ascariasis. Pulmonary disorders occur in some patients. Pulmonary means related to lungs. Pneumonitis, that is inflammation in alveolar wall. ITIS means swelling of lungs. Loss of appetite means loss of hunger and weight loss. Eosinophilia, number of eosinophil is increased. So what is eosinophil? Eosinophils are the types of WBC whose number increases in Ascariasis. They are our fighter cells. So number of these fighting cells increases. Let us study mode of transmission of Ascariasis. Food and drink contaminated with the eggs of these worms is the main mode of transmission. Eggs hatch inside the intestine of the new host. The larva passes through various organs and settle as an adult in the digestive system. Transmission does not occur from direct person to person contact. It means if a person touches another person, this Ascariasis is not transferred. It is not infectious disease. Diagnosis and treatment of Ascariasis. Diagnosis can be done by microscopic examination of the stool. Antihelminthic drugs. Anti means against. The drug which kills the Ascaris. Antihelminthic drugs like piperazine, mebendazole, levamisole, parentel are the effective against Ascaris lumbricoides. You will have to remember all these medicines. Again, I'll repeat: piperazine, mebendazole, levamisole, parentel are the effective against Ascaris lumbricoides. Prevention and control of Ascariasis. Avoiding defecation in open space. Defecation means to pass the stool. So we have to avoid the defecation in open space, which prevents the spread of Ascaris. Personal hygienic habits like washing hand with water and soap after using toilet are also important. Washing vegetables thoroughly before cooking and avoiding raw vegetable is also important for prevention of Ascariasis. Let us study the life cycle of Ascaris lumbricoides. Here, if the person consume contaminated food, that the eggs which are present in the food may be swallowed by man. That eggs reaches to intestine From intestine, they transfer in the blood. From blood, these eggs reaches to various organs such as heart, lungs, trachea, pharynx, esophagus. Again, they enter into intestine. These are the male and the female gamete. They fertilize and convert into adult. This fertilized egg, they are present in the fecal matter of that infected person. That eggs are joined in the soil. If this soil, again it is contaminated soil, and the food, contaminated food, if we consume, again it is swallowed by the man and the eggs are enter in the intestine of that human. Now let us study the next disease, filariasis, which is also known as elephantiasis. Let us study the cause of filariasis. Filariasis is caused by a thread-like worm which are called as nematodes. These nematodes parasites are transported from person to person via mosquito bite. Filariasis can be divided into three subtypes such as lymphatic filariasis, subcutaneous filariasis, example Lua lua and Mansonella species, and serous, that is abdominal cavity filariasis, example Mansonella species. Lymphatic filariasis. Lymphatic filariasis means if this worm, it affect lymphatic system, our lymphatic system which consists of lymph and lymph vessel. If this worm affect our lymphatic system, then it is called as lymphatic filariasis. If this worm which is present below the skin, which is called as subcutaneous filariasis, it is called as subcutaneous filariasis. And serous means if this worm affects the abdominal cavity, it is called as serous or abdominal cavity filariasis. Lymphatic filariasis. Elephantiasis, it is caused by the worm Wuchereria bancrofti, Brugia malai and Brugia timori. We'll have to remember these names: Wuchereria bancrofti, Brugia malai and Brugia timori. Let us see the image of filariasis, which is also called as elephantiasis. Why this filariasis is called as elephantiasis? When you see the image, you will find that when the person is infected with this Wuchereria, the leg of that person becomes like a leg of that elephant. Here, after the treatment, see the leg of that person, and it takes a long time. The changes in lymphoedema after 7 months of integrated treatment. Before treatment, this is the condition of the leg, and after treatment, this is the condition of the leg. Sign and symptoms of filariasis. Edema means swelling with thickening of skin and underlying tissue. Wuchereria bancrofti affects the legs, arms, breast and scrotum, etc. Scrotum, it is a covering which is present around the testis. In lymphatic filariasis, worm infect lymphatic system and causes enlargement of lymph vessels and the nodes. This is elephantiasis, that is, the limbs are swollen like a leg of elephant. Lymphoedema, that is accumulation of lymph fluid in the tissue causing swelling. Hydrocele, that is testes are enlarged due to accumulation of lymphatic fluid in the testes, because these microorganisms may affect the testes also. Diagnosis and treatment of filariasis. Use of diethyl carbamazine citrate twice a day for 3 weeks and thereafter for 5 days every 6 months is effective against filarial worm. It means for filariasis a prolonged treatment has to be taken. Prevention and control. Avoid mosquito bite by using mosquito nets and insect repellents. Eradication means removal of mosquito is essential for control of filariasis.